subject, a way to world peace. A way to world peace. One thing we must realize first is that world brotherhood must come before world peace can come. World brotherhood must come before world peace will ensue. We must be able to feel the one eternal Father's love flowing through the hearts of men in each one of us. Then lasting peace will come. Because each one of us constitutes one of the building blocks of world brotherhood and world peace. Just as our body is made up of cells. If any of those cells are not functioning properly, or are diseased, or there is inharmony in them, so the whole body is affected. And therefore, it is very important, if we are to attain peace, to get busy, each one of us ourselves, and take care of our own state of God's presence within us. And if His love flows through us, then we will see the same love flowing through other souls, and world peace will come. That is very important. In the Gita we read, the 10th discourse, the 20th line, I am the self, seated in the heart of all beings. There is only one eternal love, and that's God. Our Master has said the same thing. The heart must be of pure gold before God's love will come. In other words, the dross in the heart must be removed. Jealousy and such things, feeling of superiority over other nations must go. And resentment cannot stay if God's love is to flow through you. So the heart must be purified. And the way is through daily meditation and contacting of God. Now, you cannot regiment people into peace. You cannot do it. You can make all the laws you want, international and national, and still, you take away the implements of war, unless the heart is of pure gold and love flows through it, they will fight anyway. Fight with their hands or sticks or anything they can get hold of. So you cannot regiment people to peace. But I don't care who it is. If you remove the hatred from the hearts of people, that is, if hatred is removed by God's love, then you cannot get them to fight. So that's the key to world peace, is to change the hearts of men. And if hatred stays there, even though you make all sorts of laws, if that hatred is there, that's the greatest deterrent to peace. That hatred must be removed. And that hatred will be removed by one thing and one thing alone, and that's God's great love. So you can see the answer I have given you to world peace is to first establish world brotherhood, feeling God in the hearts of men, and then naturally world peace will come. I remember Master visited President Coolidge one time. It was when there was a great wail about armament, and this armament was in progress. I know he told President Roosevelt, he said, isn't it so that if you take away the armament still, unless the hearts of men are changed, the people will fight? Cal with his great vocabulary, said, yes. He was a man of few words. But that is a fact. So that it is not the reduction of armament, international laws for peace that will do it, but it is that simple flowing of God's love through us, which many devotees feel, and all can feel who will, that will bring peace. Now, patriotism is all right. Patriotism, when considered in the light of loving and protecting that country which God has given us, is all right. God has given us this country. We must take care of it. We are not good citizens unless we do. Because if we take care of it, what happens? Then, because of America's makeup, her national feeling for other nations, and her great wealth, and know-how in material things, she can help other nations. If we take patriotism in that sense, as protecting a gift from God, which He has given to us, to cherish and to watch over, and make it a good America, then she can help other nations as she has been doing, and as she has done. And that good karma which America has laid up will stand her in good stead. Do not worry about America. Worry about your own self. You are one of the human elements of America, one of the building blocks of America. Make it a good building block. Feel the presence of God. And then take patriotism in that sense of protecting that gift which God has given to you and to all of us. America stands for political freedom. America stands for a chance for people, an opportunity to do things and become something. We should cherish that and make it better, and then utilize the power of America and the know-how to help others. Of course, a sense of superiority must go. We cannot feel we're better than any other nation. We are not. But if we do not have that sense of superiority, but have humbleness, which most Americans, I'm sure, do have, and utilize that, we can do a great deal to bring about peace in this world. Now, I have an article here which Master has written in 1951 about America's good karma. I'm just going to read a paragraph to you. I want you to never forget it. Of course, in these times, we have to be prepared. We have to play the part. But we do not have to forget the underlying realities, the underlying truths which protect America. We have to be prepared. That's natural in this state of society. But underneath that, there is something which protects America, which is far greater than prepared. I want you to listen just for a minute or two to Master's words. He says this: America, as the liberator in World War II of Russia, England, Europe, and India, has stored up enough good karma to defeat any aggressor, no matter how powerful, by making the enemy commit blunders in politics and strategy, should there be a third world war. For freely helping all nations, America has been accused of dollar imperialism. Such ingratitude is bad karma for her accusers, especially for those countries who have accepted her financial help. The generosity of America is storing up for her much good karma, according to the law that determines world conditions. Then the Master goes on to say these words, which are very comforting. And so, dear Americans, rest assured that even if the Third World War should come, the United States of America shall be victor, because she possesses the greatest good karma. The good karmic bomb will destroy all aggressors, even though they use against her the material atomic bomb. It is this goodness in the heart of America, not the possession of atomic bombs, that shall give sure victory to this land if any aggressor starts a third world war. Similarly, it was the powerful good karma of India that worked through Gandhi and other saints and masters to enable India to gain her independence without firing a single shot. It is this plentiful good karma of Americans that is the divine fortress guarding them against any dire calamity. Dear Americans, you are protected not only by the good karma, but by the castle of divine grace of Him who is the originator of the law of karma. A single blood clot or disease germ can kill a man, even if he live in a desert or in an underground cave. It will not be subterranean cities that will protect America, but a continuation and increase of her present good and generous action. If God be with her, who can stand against her? Let us realize that, remember that, in these times of stress. Let us keep our faith in America, realize God has given her to us to cherish and take care of and protect, and realize He is with us. Who can be against us? I think these are wonderful words, my master. Now, in 1893, the saint came from India to America, Swami Vivekananda. And he had these ideas about his visit to America that I'll give you. The Master had the same idea. Master said, India needs what America has to give to her. We need spirituality of India. And I know those of us and of you who have followed India's methods of meditation have found great peace. And even though the world fall apart, no one can shake us in that love of God which we feel. Swami Vivekananda said these words, I came to this country not to satisfy my curiosity, nor for name and fame, but to see if I could find any means to help the poor of India. As regards spirituality, the Americans are far inferior to us, but their society is far superior to ours. We will teach them our spirituality and assimilate what is best in their society. Master said the same. And that's why spiritual teachings of India are so welcome to those who really want to know God, because they've been trying to find God and contact Him for ages. They know how, as we know how, to do material things. And so it is well, our Master has said, that India and America exchange ideas. If we receive from India the great spiritual pleasure, and we give to India what help we can along material lines and also spiritual. Because America is spiritual. There is no question about it. And so, in the final judgment, one thing that is on this question of world brotherhood and ensuing peace, one thing is necessary. Two, rise above mire and poverty of narrow self-interest, which is in the world. What is that? That is God's all-pervading, all-encompassing love. That's what we need. God's great love is the panacea for the world's ill. It is the specific for world peace. Realize it. God's love is what the nations of the world need. God's love is what every individual, every building block of world brotherhood and lasting peace needs. Each one of us needs the all-encompassing, solacing love of God. If we can change the hearts of men, and they feel the love of God, then world peace will come. Not until then. From the autobiography, word or two, which fits in at this time, I always like to give the Master's words because he says it in such a way that I can understand it clearly. I'm sure you can. He says the grim march of world political events points inexorably to the truth that without spiritual vision, people perish. Without that love of God in our hearts, we'll perish. There's no question about it. There's nothing that will stand. And he goes on, science, if not religion, has awakened in humanity a dim sense of the insecurity and even insubstantiality of all material things. Science has shown that everything resolves into life. There's no security in these worldly objects of senses. But right within us, we can see that our bodies, our consciousness, our thoughts, our emotions, all things resolve into life. But in that life is God's consciousness. So there's the security, not in outward things, as the Master says. Then he goes on to say, where indeed may man go, if not to his source and origin, the Spirit within? So, to attain world brotherhood, lasting peace, we have to go to the source of that peace. And that is the presence of God within us, His great light and His great love. Now, our Master's method, self-realization, for world peace, very important. Through the meditations which he has left us, through Kriya Yoga, man, every one of us, can go to the altar of God, which is the final region within us and the supreme center of the brain, and there feel and contact the presence of God. And without God contact, nothing lasting will come. But through the methods of self-realization fellowship, its meditations, especially Kriya Yoga, everyone is enabled to feel the presence of God as Brother Lawrence felt it right within their own selves, in their spinal region and superior center of the brain. And what do you feel there? What do you feel by following our Master's method? You feel actually God contact. God contact. God contact means that there you can feel the Holy Ghost of which Jesus spoke. You can feel a great Comforter with its great love. You can feel that by being one with what the Comforter is, what God contact is. In the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word was God. You can contact and feel the Word right within yourself as great light of Christ consciousness of which we read in the beginning. The great cosmic sound of God's footsteps throughout the universe, sustaining it, building new universes, sustaining each one of us. Greatest of all, can feel His great love, the feeling of God, which is in holy vibration, the Word. Now this can be contacted by following our Master's method. Contacting that, you have God contact. And God contact is the only reality, or God is the only reality in the universe, contacting Him. You have what He has, eternal, ever-existing consciousness of love. That's what will change the world. And if each one of us takes it upon herself or himself to make that contact with God and feel His great love, then as others follow that, as this religious experience becomes natural to the people of the world, the religious experience of God contact, then things will change, and not until then. To realize what method Master has given us. Method of God contact. Of feeling, not in idea, but in reality, the presence of God within. Feeling that God is love. So the final point is this, that God is love. God is love is the key. Master said, perhaps some of you have heard him say, if people hate me, I give them love and wait for them to sin. Love is the key. Love is the key in all fields of endeavor. And we find right in our scriptures these wonderful words. First, from St. John, or 1 John, 4th chapter, the 7th verse. Beloved, let us love one another. Why? For love is of God. And everyone that loveth is born of God and knoweth God. Realize that. God is love. When you feel that love for all people in your hearts, you are of God. Who can be against you? And then in 1 John, the 5th chapter, the 1st verse. Everyone that loveth him that begat, loveth him also that is begotten of him. Everyone who professes to love God must love God's children. Realizing that we love him, our Father who created his children, we must love his children. So, feeling God's love flowing to all his children, feeling that, that's what will change our hearts. When the hearts of men are changed, and lasting